Old Jesse over here cutting out our holes for our backup lights.
Yeah, man.
Jesse's going to town on. It's been a while since you worked on the go,
It's been a minute, dude. If it wasn't full of my junk, it was working all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, I said, what we gonna do on GTO this weekend?
I was like, I got parts. We got stuff to do. But Jesse today, what he is doing, he is cutting out the holes for our backup lights, and he's about to be making a real big cut over in here, cutting out this whole license plate area for room for our wheelie bars. We're cutting out all this and getting rid of it. I know a lot of people likes doing like slots, and the problem with this is the way the underside of my car is built. If we'd cut slots in it, the way the air would come up and hit the back of this bumper, it would start ripping the bumper off of it, or start making cracks in it and stuff like that. And it's just best to cut it all out and get rid of it, so when that air hits it, it just goes on out the back of the car.
Get rid of that drum.
But yeah, guys, we got that going on. While Jesse's doing this, I'm gonna be working on the front of the car. I got some stuff I'm gonna be working on up here. I've been working on the grill supports, bumper supports, and I've also been working on this whole area here. I cut it out and cleaned all of it up. The side over here, it was messed up. I'll show it to you. Go over here. It was messed up really bad. You can see this right here. This piece was all bent up. I'll take it back over here. I tried straightening it out and see if I could fix it, but it didn't like it. But this piece was right here, and it was all bent up, and it was actually folded back under here. And I was like, we'll cut both sides out, clean it up, and I stiffened it up back in here too. So pretty busy. We'll get after it, guys. Just like that. All right, guys, so definitely a big shout out to old Jesse there for helping me out. I'm definitely trying to get this front end put back together. We're going to have some grinding and some cutting we're going to do here in just in a little bit. But I've been doing all kinds of welding on the front of this thing. All these little odds and ends, little braces, man, they really add up. So speaking of adding up, where we had really been thrashing and cutting this front end up here in the past, I guess, year or so, it's time to finally clean this thing up and really button up some jagged edges, some areas I wasn't happy with that need to be cleaned up. You can see here what it looked like before, and then we're getting ready to cut this thing up and kind of just round the edges off, clean it up, so that way when we're taking the front end on and off, it's a little bit friendlier to your hands and your fingers if you grab onto some of these areas here. So it's just kind of some tidying up, and it's nice to get those areas done there. And Mr. Jesse, he has been cutting on the bumper for us. He is now cutting out the hole for the wheelie bars. So as you can kind of see my transmission tunnel there, it's kind of this triangle shape that he's going to be cutting out for us. Alrighty, guys and gals, got ourselves a dusty mess over there. Mr. Jesse took our very nice VFN bumper and cut that dude apart. We'll go over here and check this thing out. Oh, Mr. Jesse done a good job there.
Turned it into a $50 bill.
That's right. We went from a $200 bumper to a $50 bumper real quick. So let's turn this thing around here and we'll check this deal out. So we're kind of piled up here, so it's gonna be hard to see, but you can see one of our backup lights in. Our other hole's just a little bit too loose. I'm waiting on the mounts that actually kind of clamp that light to the bumper. That hadn't came in yet, so I'm still waiting on that. But we'll kind of get around here, let you guys see that opening. Yeah, right there, so you can kind of see. We got ourselves a nice clean opening there, and we still got enough room to mount our license plate tag on if we need to. We'll just have to kind of see how all that's going to work out. But I think all that's looking good. We'll start working on making some fill-in panels right here. See that panel right there? I need to make a panel to fill that in, and then we'll make like a border that goes around this right here. It just kind of cleans all this up, and that way there's no cracks or nothing like that. So yeah, it's looking good. Like the way all this is looking. We'll go up here to the front of the car and look at that. All right, so we'll walk on up here. And I've got ourselves a full-on mess up here right now. Okay, so I've been cleaning up some body lines on this stuff. We got all this done, all cleaned up, so that way when we're taking the front end on and off, we don't have no jagged points or any nasty stuff going on there. We want to clean all that up. I've been doing a ton of welding up here. All of the framework, all the supports for the bumper and the grill in the front end is now all welded up. I was glad to have all that done. That took a lot of time right there. There's 2 more welds I need to do. One on this support leg over here and one on this side too, right here on this side. So still got to do that. Projects to come. We got a lot of parts that came in. I'm going to get those out, show those to you. We finally got our EGT kit. We got some parts coming in from Holly, so we can actually start doing some wiring very soon on this thing. So let's check some of that stuff out. Alrighty guys, I thought I'd end the video out here on some of the parts we got rolling in here. We've been waiting on this box right here for 2.5 months. This is the Holly EGTs. Okay, if you don't know what this is basically a temp sensor. It goes in each individual cylinder on the exhaust side, so right in the header, coming right out of the exhaust port, there's going to be one of these sensors, and there'll be one of these little dudes right here welded into the header tube for each cylinder there. So that's really cool. We also got from Redline Performance, big shout out to them. We got these firewall plates. I'll show you guys what this looks like right here. So I'll take us over here to the car. Basically, this plate bolts onto the firewall, okay? And then you can plug your EGT in here. So you got 4 per side. You got a plate that mounts here, and then a plate that mounts on the passenger side. And what I like about this, you can literally use the stock plug-in, okay? So if we have an EGT sensor that fails, I can take it off, put a stock one back on it, and plug right in, and we don't have to change any wiring. That's what I like about these, and it makes it a bulkhead right here, so we don't have to have a grommet, meaning a hole cut in the firewall, and then you got to run wires through it. I like these because they just kind of stick right there, and when you need to work on it or take the headers off, you just unplug them, you know, zip tie them up, pull the header off, and you're in good shape there. So that's what that is right there. All right, we'll walk on back over here. So this whole entire box right here is all of the EGT stuff, okay? The controller, all of the sensors right here, all the bungs that we got to weld in, all that good stuff, and the harness for it too. This box here is a kind of a mix of odds and ends stuff that's been coming in. These are the tail light. What would you call these, Jesse? The tail light bulb mount, I guess. My mind is failing me tonight. But we also,
it's only 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know it is only 4 o'clock in the morning, that's true. We got our LEDs for them as well. These are really cool bulbs. This is a replacement bulb for 1157 bulbs, and it's just an LED bulb that takes the place of the old school bulbs. I like these a lot. They work really good. We got a TPS sensor from Wilson Manifolds. Very good stuff. If you run Wilson Manifolds, I highly suggest you buying your TPS stuff from them. They'll go ahead and put the correct plug-in for it there for your Holly stuff, or depending on what type of EFI system you're running. So be sure and check with Wilson to make sure that you've got the right TPS setup. See right there where it says reversed for 123mm throttle body? That's really important, okay? So make sure you got the right stuff with the right throttle body. This is a harness for big wire coil packs, okay? So we've got our harness for the coils. That's ready to roll right there. This harness, we will break it apart. We will make it smaller and make it cleaner and stuff to fit the car, but that's just how it comes straight from Holly right there, okay? There's some odds and ends stuff in here, just backup stuff, but that's kind of the main stuff right there that we need to talk about today. We'll get to the back of the car here. We got our reverse lights. have came in from Ames Performance. You guys saw Jesse working on the bumper and stuff, and now come next weekend it'll be time for me to start doing a little bit of sheet metal work back there to completely finish off that bumper, and also waiting on the brackets from Ames to actually mount these lights. It's really cool right there. So it won't be long, we'll be ready to actually see the tail lights, turn signals. That's right. That's right. We gotta line this thing up and get it back in the groove there. Moving on up front here, I do have, I don't know if they're on it, I've had them on and off. We got our pulleys in and our belts in for the fuel pump and for the oil pump, but they're not on it right now. I've had that stuff on and off several times. Let's see here, we got some other stuff in as well. I'm just not thinking of it right now. But hopefully in the next video on the GTO, we'll have a lot more electronic stuff to show for you guys. I'm just waiting on everything. It gets crazy waiting on parts right now with all this COVID madness going on, that's for sure. So that's why it's been so long since we've done a video on the GTO. We've had a lot of orders out to purchase parts for it, but it's been anywhere from like 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months just to get parts in. We should be having a lot of stuff coming in very soon for this thing, and as soon as we do, we'll post up another video about all this stuff and kind of getting all of it put on here. So cross your fingers, guys, it won't be long and we'll actually start doing the wiring on this stuff. We'll get the turn signals on it, headlights, tail lights, all that stuff. So it's going to be really cool here very soon. We got Jesse in the background back there.
Kick back like big T.
That's right, man. He's been helping me out big time this weekend. Big shout out to him. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. So that's it for us for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode working on GTO. Hopefully we got a lot more videos coming very soon for you guys. That's it for us. See y'all next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to go over to KilmerSports.com, where we've got all kinds of merch over there and all kinds of high performance products as well. And definitely a big shout out to our sponsors and partners. Till next time, you guys have a good one.